Hello everybody, this is Cesar, and today I'm going to shoot a video about how to restring your classical guitar. I've received several emails and several personal messages on my YouTube channel, thank you to all of you, asking me about how to restring a classical guitar, how do I do it, what are the strings that I use, so I'm gonna try to answer some of the questions. Warning, if you already know how to restring classical guitar, don't watch this video. We are not only going to restring the guitar, we are going to do some checking, some health check of a guitar, and give you some tips about the type of strings that I use. Now, before we restring, it's good that you do what I call a health check in your tuning pegs. You check if there is any unwanted play. For example, here you see at the tuning pegs. Okay, so we have this one. So what we are going to do is we are going to tighten this screw because the rest are okay. Think about the fact that this is a 22 years old guitar and sometimes the tuning machines get a little bit loose. So we are going to tighten the screw. So what we do is with our screwdriver, we tighten the screw, not too much, not over tight it, because then you can basically produce some wear in the screw, enough for the tuning peg, that's perfect, to not to have any unwanted play. Another thing that I always do is I check the health of the joints, the critical joints of the guitar with the magic piece of paper, my magic piece of paper. So I check the tongue, which is basically the part of the fretboard that goes into the body of the guitar. Both sides are okay, there's no cracks or no way that the paper will squeeze there. And of course I always check the bridge. The bridge is better to check it with the string tension, but just to see if you perceive an evident issue, which there is not, as you can see. It's perfect. 22 years, and perfect. So it's good that you do it, so you can check the health of your instrument. Now, yes, I oil my ebony or rosewood fretboards. This is an ebony fretboard, and I use F1 oil. I do it once per year, more or less. I know you watch videos in which you receive the advice of not oiling your fretboard. Don't oil your fretboard. Listen, do whatever you think you have to do. But as I have told you in many occasions, I've been trained in the Royal School of Music, and I have seen how professional, very good classical players oil their fretboards. I have seen how double bass players oil their fingerboard. So I do oil my fretboards, and my advice to you is oil your fretboards. My advice is use this product, it's a very good one. Again, I don't have any endorsement, I don't receive anything from this company, simply I like the product. Well, this is nothing that you have not seen before, so I do a drop of oil in each one of the frets. Okay. And what I use is a clean rag. I never use paper, because the paper leaves sometimes small balls of paper all across the fretboard, and it annoys me a lot. So I use a clean rag. We basically do it, we don't leave the oil there, just spread it with the rag, and after that what I do is with the other side of the rag, you see, not too dirty, and with the other side of the rag grab it off. And the reason why my fretboards are not too dirty is because I wash my hands every time I'm gonna play the guitar. There is a golden rule. If you don't want to if you don't want to clean, don't put dirt in. If you don't want to clean something, don't make it dirty. So that's a good advice, believe me. We basically rub it off with the other side of the rag. Now, which strings do I use? In this guitar we are going to put the Adagio Pro Arte normal tension. If you look for classical guitar strings, you are going to be able to find up to 5 tensions, from very low to super heavy. But in a normal guitar store, you will find only 2, high and normal. I always use normal, always. I'm used to that. I much rather prefer the normal tension. There are people who prefer the high tension because they say that the strings bend less and they can do very quick finger picking. I can do very quick finger picking with the normal, and I like more a little bit more warm sound that they have. But that's up to you guys. For classical guitar, if you are not going to play flamenco, for classical, pure classical guitar, I always would recommend the normal tension. But in this guitar, as you see, this time we are going to install black nylon. Look, black nylon. So you are going to see that the first, second and third string are black, not transparent, not clear. And the reason being is because I'm going to be playing some flamenco during the next months. So that's the reason why I use black strings. When I play flamenco, I always use black strings. You can play classical guitar with black strings, but they are more percussive. They are more brilliant. And some classical players don't like the black strings to play classical. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to install the Adagio Pro Arte normal black nylon strings. Corrosion protection, factory fresh, imagine that. So I've opened the bag, and as you see, the first 3 strings are black, and the wounded strings are as usual. Our friends from the Adagio put the note of each one of the strings, so you are going to be perfectly orientated and you are going to be able to install them without losing your way on the jungle of the restringing of your guitars. Now, one thing that is important for you to see, let me see if the camera can focus and then you can see what I mean, is that the 2 ends of the strings, of the wounded strings, sometimes are not equal. As you see here, the wounding is a little bit more loosey, it's more springy than at the other end of the guitar, which has a normal wounding. Okay. Let me see again if you can see that. You see the difference. Well, when you find strings like this part where the end of the string is more springy, let's say, has to go to the tuning peg. This is the way I do it. And this other end, with the normal wounding, sorry about that, has to go to the bridge. Let me show them together so you can perfectly perceive the difference. You see that? The more springy part, the more loose part goes to the tuning peg, and the normal one goes to the bridge. Okay, now trying to get a good angle here is going to be a challenge, but I'm going to try, so please bear with me for a second. I'm going to use the 5th string because then at the tuning peg I would be able to show you much better what I do, because it's the tuning peg which is in the middle of the 3, so it's going to be easier for me to shoot the video. Now, what I do is I pass the guitar string through the channel, through the bridge channel, it's clear, through the horn. and I do it in this direction and not in this one, because if I do it in this one, I am going to hit this part of the bridge that is surrounding the saddle, and then it's going to be difficult for the string to pass through. So easier, okay? And then it's very simple. Look, I do this, you see? Okay, then another one, turn, the saddle moves as you see, and then another one, and I make sure that the last one that I do, see, is against the back part of the bridge, so your string gets perfectly hooked and it does not move. Let me give you a good angle of this in order for you to know what I'm talking about. So I think here you can see what I'm talking about. The last part of this kind of lace is against the back of the bridge and not on the top, because if it is at the top, the string will slip and the string will detach from the bridge in the moment you start tuning and putting pressure on the string. Now I think it's very clear, and then once we finish restringing the guitar, we will cut the ends of the strings, and we will make sure that there's nothing in touch with the body of the guitar, with the top, sorry, of the guitar, because if it touches the top of the guitar when you play, there's going to be unwanted vibration there and it's going to produce some ugly noise. And now the tuning pegs. And yes, I know there are many ways in how you can skin a cat, but I want to show you mine, which is the one I learned many years ago. It's a very simple one. I have seen people tie notes on the tuning peg. Don't do that. The string will break easily, especially the nylon ones, and restringing after that is a nightmare. So what I do is I take the end of the string, pass it through the hole, then I pass the end up again. Very simple. I take it through, then I pass it, around the string down like this, you see? It's very simple, very simple. And when I take it up again, I finish passing it through this part of the string. So it looks like this. And then the only thing you need to do is tuning, and you do it in a way that it looks neat and tidy, which is also very important. Aesthetics are also important, guys and girls. So the only thing you need to do now is tuning your guitar. Now, what's with the nylon strings? Well, exactly the same, okay? So I'm going to install the B in order to give you a good shot at the tuning peg. So same story here. Let me get better into the movie for all of you. Okay, right? Then there are people who give another turn here at the bridge for the nylon strings. I usually don't do it. So you see, last one against the back part of the bridge. Okay, I guess that from this angle you see what I mean. The last part, the last turn of the lace against the back part of the bridge. By the way, I'm exaggerating with the ends of the string in this video in order for you to see it. I usually don't leave that much string left. We will carry it later, but I usually don't leave that much of a string. And now with the tuning peg, this is the same. First one, take the end of the string up, okay, the end of the string. Now down around the string, you see, okay. Now up again, okay, this is the end, up again, and then when we are gonna pass it through this space. And then we just tighten the tuning peg and we start tuning. And now with our first string at the tuning peg, I do something a little bit different. And basically it's because the string is much thinner, and especially the black ones are slippery. So what I do is, I do the same thing at the beginning. I pass it through the peg, okay? I take it up as we did before. You see it? Hope it's clear. Then down again. Okay. Then when I pass it up, I take it through the hole again this time. And then when I then pass it up again, what I do is I take it through this part of the string that we have here, you see, eh? Like if we were sewing. Okay, so sorry for the earthquake. And then I start tightening the string. And as you see, we cut the string ends so they don't touch the top of the guitar, and then no unwanted noise is going to be produced. Well, here she is, ready to go, but she's not. And she's not because when you restring a classical guitar with nylon strings, it's gonna take time for the strings to get to the tension. During the first day, she will get out of tune in several occasions. My advice is, if you're gonna perform, change the strings one day before the performance. Well, I hope this short tutorial has been of use, especially to the people who have asked me the questions. And if you like it, thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. And until that moment, be good and play your guitars. See you very soon. Bye.